You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story, demolition begins on a century-old pier on Anna Maria Island. Nearly 10 months after Hurricane Irma, work is now underway to dismantle the storm-damaged Anna Maria Island pier. ABC 7's Marla Spence shows us when construction of its replacement is expected to be complete.
The Anna Maria City Pier has been out here since 1911. Besides being historic, this pier drew large crowds, but it's been closed since Hurricane Irma damaged the pier almost 10 months ago. Demolition of the new pier is now underway after being closed for so long. After Sunday, workers began to demolish the pier in high hopes of constructing a new one. This is what the pier will look like once it's finally complete. In August, workers will begin building the new platform for the pier. In addition to that, a new bait shop and restaurant will also be constructed to replace the existing sites. Construction for both will begin next April. The entire pier is expected to be complete and open December 2019. In total, the new pier is costing $4.3 million. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Plans for a new public safety facility in Venice are unveiled. City leaders approving the plans for a building on East Venice Avenue, which will become the new home for the Venice Police Department. The new building will be a very big upgrade from the current police station, which has roof leaks and older equipment. The city will break ground early next year. An update now following concerns over housing for refugees of last year's hurricane season. A judge ordering an extension on temporary hotel vouchers for a few more days. That decision coming just hours after a civil rights group sought a federal injunction to block the eviction of about 2,000 Puerto Ricans whose vouchers were set to expire yesterday. FEMA declined to comment but is now working to notify hotels to extend the aid until Thursday to comply with that order. All right, time now to get a check on our Monday weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. Beautiful start to the day, I thought, this morning.
Can't beat it.
Yeah,
it's really nice out there. Most of the weekend was pretty nice as well. You know, it was cloudy on Saturday, but
Saturday.
Yeah, but at least it didn't rain all day long. You know, got some breaks in the rainfall, so that was kind of nice. And it was nice to see a little bit cooler temperatures for a day. You know, but certainly the heat is back today, and we're already approaching heat indexes of 100 around the area. Fair amount of sunshine as well. Beautiful start to the day. Lakewood Ranch webcam shows some pretty nice conditions out there. I think a lot of blue sky, and of course with that comes the fair weather clouds building. We don't have any much in the way of rainfall currently, but that will probably change. We've got a spiral of low pressure in the mid-levels producing again more rainfall back toward Louisiana Delta region into the Florida Panhandle this morning. That is the same system that brought in some rain showers for us over the weekend. That continues to press further away from the state of Florida. We have some showers out in the Gulf. So far, nothing over land. I put the rain chance this afternoon under a mix of sun and clouds at about 30% today. Those will probably linger into the evening hours. Daytime high about 91. Complete forecast, including a look at the 4th of July forecast as well, coming up in just a few. Scott?
John, thank you. New at noon, it's a sports story that even has non-sports fans talking. LeBron James, one of the greatest players in NBA history, once again leaving his hometown to take his talents elsewhere. ABC 7's Ray Collins got reaction from a former professional basketball player who played with LeBron and now lives here on the Suncoast. Ray?
Here we go again, Scott. James left his home region of Cleveland for the first time back in 2010 for Miami. Fans there were furious, but eventually they forgave him when they won the championship a couple years ago. And now, 4 years later, he's leaving Cleveland again, this time for Los Angeles and a 4-year, $154 million deal. But why would he leave one of the top teams in the league and break Cleveland's heart again? We talked to a former pro player who lives in Sarasota, who used to play with LeBron in Cleveland, and Gerard Ward says it has a lot to do with feeling the Lakers have a better chance to win it all.
He feels very comfortable in management. We're talking Magic Johnson, we're talking about Jeannie Buff, and that management can pull off what they need to put the supporting pieces around him to potentially have a chance to compete again. And you know, at the end of the day, it seemed like he didn't have the same confidence in Cleveland's management.
Now, Gerard and LeBron were both named top high school players in the nation. Gerard says he knew LeBron was bound for big things rookie year when he first saw his demeanor and his work ethic, but there was one thing he thought he was lacking. We'll have that story today at 5:30. Scott, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Ray. New developments on President Trump's longtime personal attorney, Michael Cohen, now speaking out, giving his first in-depth interview since the FBI raids on his home and office back in April. ABC's Arlette Saenz explains why Cohen says his loyalty lies with his family and country over anything else.
Michael Cohen has described himself as a fix-it guy for President Trump. He's even said he'd take a bullet for his boss and told Fox News last year,
And I will do anything to protect Mr. Trump.
But in an in-depth interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos, Cohen makes clear where his allegiance stands, saying, to be crystal clear, my wife, my daughter, and my son and this country have my first loyalty. Federal prosecutors are investigating Cohen for alleged violations of election law and possible financial crimes tied to his personal business dealings. He has not been charged with any crimes yet. In April, the FBI raided Cohen's home and office, seizing a host of documents. President Trump lashed out.
It's a disgraceful situation. It's a total witch hunt.
But Cohen says, I don't agree with those who demonize or vilify the FBI. I respect the FBI as an institution as well as their agents.
You don't do this interview and say these things unless you're looking for a possible deal with the Southern District of New York.
His comments are a strong signal that Cohen may be willing to strike a deal with federal prosecutors. Last month, the president told ABC News he's not worried Cohen might flip.
Just want to know if you're worried if he's going to cooperate with federal investigators.
No, I'm not worried because I did nothing wrong.
Got it.
Federal prosecutors are likely looking at that $130,000 hush payment Cohen made to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Asked if the president directed him to make that payment or promised to reimburse him, Cohen said he couldn't comment, but hoped to one day answer that question. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump says he'll announce his second nomination to the Supreme Court on July 9th, a week from today. That's less than 2 weeks after Justice Anthony Kennedy announced his retirement and 3 weeks before that retirement takes effect. The president says he'll start conducting interviews later this week. And for more on the latest breaking news from Washington and here on the Suncoast, as well as your First Alert weather forecast, you can download our app. Just look in your app store under WWSB or My Suncoast. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street. We're starting a new month and it's a down day.
We're starting a new month, we're starting a new week, we're starting a new quarter. Yes, indeed. It's the first day of the second half of the year. And how are we doing? Well, not so well, although we're doing a lot better than we did at the open. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down by 194 points in the first 30 minutes of trading, mainly as a result of, yes, indeed, tariffs. Yes, no, what country? To be announced. In any event, we're looking a lot better now than we did at 10 o'clock this morning. Let's take a look at the figures. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 91 points, just not quite 0.4% at 24,180.73. That on volume of 314 million shares. The NASDAQ down as well. There's a down arrow, down 13 points, not quite 0.2% at 7,499.16. That on volume of 608 million shares. And if they're down, yes indeed, so's the S&P. The S&P down 9 points, 1/3% at 2,709.59. Well, as I just said, we've finished the first half of the year going into the third quarter. So if you remember, January was terrific. Hasn't been exactly terrific since. So let's take a look and see how we've done for the first 6 months of 2018. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, despite a terrific January, is down by 0.7% for the first 6 months of the year. The NASDAQ, which has been the real leader in the marketplace, not as high as it was, but still up by 9.4%. Certainly, if you annualize that at more than 18%, you got a lot of happy investors in that case. And the S&P, which is the best single indicator of the market, up 2.6% year to date. And if you annualize that at about 5.2%, and we certainly can't promise that, but if you annualize that at 5.2%, that would be under the historic rate of return of the S&P 500. Scott, that is typically plus or minus about 7%.
Okay. Still a half a year to go.
You got it.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right. Richard, thank you. We'll see you at 5.
Yes.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the CDC says nearly all adults across the country are not washing their hands properly. And the incredible prison break in France that was caught on camera, how a notorious gangster got free with the help of a helicopter.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Patriotic Spectacular July 4th, 4:30 p.m. at First Church, Sarasota. Choral Artists of Sarasota's annual Independence Day celebration features traditional patriotic favorites, plus a choral salute to the 100th anniversary of Leonard Bernstein, and a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. narrated by Nate Jacobs. Come for the concert and stay for the fireworks over Sarasota Bay. Tickets at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
89 degrees, lots of sunshine. Feels like temperature close to 100 already. We have a dew point value coming in at 74. It's going to be a lot like yesterday, really. A lot of sunshine, a few showers, probably popping up later in the afternoon, and high humidity across the region throughout the day today with feels like of 100 to 105. We're at 88 degrees in Arcadia, Wauchula, Myakka coming in at 89, so is Parish Bradenton at 90 now. Lakewood Ranch at 89. As I mentioned here in Sarasota, we've got 89. Same thing in Venice. Longboat Key at 86, 90 in Northport, 89 in Inglewood. I'll give the rain chance today about 30%. That's about the best we can do. 30% chance today with a mix of sun and clouds, 91 the daytime high. And then as we head into the evening, a few of the showers that build into inland areas may try to work their way back to the coastline. About a 20% chance of that through 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I think by midnight it's all over. And there won't be many showers around. So not really a big deal, and certainly none of them terribly strong storms. The ones inland might be a little bit stronger. All in all, I think it's a pattern that's going to start shifting as we head into tomorrow. This is impressive, I think. A large area of low pressure continuing to produce showers and thunderstorms. I mean, it has the appearance of a tropical cyclone, doesn't it? But it's not. It's a mid-level system, and very little chance, no chance really of this developing into anything. I don't think it'll just basically wash away. But the point is it's moving farther away from the state of Florida, and so that's what brought us our Saturday rain chances, and consequently now we're seeing those Saturday rain chances go down a little bit as high pressure gets to build in. Got a few showers out in the Gulf waters. Few, not many. and they generally have a drift that's more to the north than to the west. As soon as our sea breeze begins to build and we develop that sea breeze pushing inland, we'll see more showers beginning to pop up. Thought we would have seen that already at this hour, but maybe in another couple of hours we'll start to see those showers popping up east of the interstate, and gradually the number of them increasing as we progress through the day. Now, I say today's a transition day. Why do I say that? Well, because I think over the course of the next 24 hours, we'll start to see high pressure building in from the north. As we see that, we're going to develop this easterly wind flow. That easterly wind flow tends to favor the showers and thunderstorms lining up along the spine of the state, where the collision of the west coast sea breeze and this general easterly wind occurs. Then, as we continue with that easterly wind throughout the day, we'll push some of those showers back toward our coastline. Now, high pressure is a major dominant feature, so we'll reduce the rain chances from where we normally would be, but still, this is a typical summer pattern. Add to that a little trough of low pressure, which is going to work its way in from the east, and I think we can probably up our rain chances just a little bit as we head into the 4th of July. Southwest wind at about 10 knots becomes more westerly at about 10 knots. We'll look for generally 2-foot seas and a light chop. And the forecast for the next 7 days includes 91 today, 30% chance of rain, about the same tomorrow. Then as we head into the 4th of July, again, we're going to push more of those showers closer to the coast. Still not a large rain chance for this time of year, but because of that easterly wind flow, we'll have to watch out for some thunderstorm development near the coast at 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. We'll see how it plays out. It's going to really end up being, I think, kind of a nowcast hour by hour. Good time to download your First Alert weather app so you'll have that handy to track those storms. And then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, again, that easterly wind, again, providing us pretty typical summertime kind of flow. And I think the same thing on Sunday as well. Scott?
John, thank you so much. In HealthSmart, a new study from the U.S. Department of Agriculture found nearly 97% of the time people are not washing their hands properly. That means germs that can make you sick are staying on your hands. As a reminder, the CDC says you should wet your hands, lather them up with soap, and scrub for at least 20 seconds, and then dry them with a clean towel. 48 million people get foodborne illnesses every year, and many of those cases could be prevented with proper hand washing. Recreational marijuana is now legal in Vermont. The law allows adults 21 and over to have up to 1 ounce of marijuana, 2 mature plants and 4 immature plants in their home. However, residents are not allowed to smoke in cars, at the beach, in a park, or any other public place. Vermont is the 9th state to legalize marijuana. Florida voters approved medical marijuana just 2 years ago. All right, let's head over to the kitchen now and say hello to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
I love pancakes, but being in the position that I am, I have to be careful about watching my weight. So when I saw that they had a paleo pancake mix at Whole Foods, I was really excited because normally I make the batter with the almond flour and the coconut flour and eggs and coconut milk. This makes it so much better. So we can just get it all mixed in one packet. And as I said, I got over to Whole Foods. We're gonna just add some coconut milk to that. And then we're gonna add some warm bananas and cinnamon, some coconut chips, and bring it all together with just a little drizzle of a coconut syrup that I think you're gonna really enjoy. Have fun with the pancakes because they're paleo, so there will be calories, but they're certainly a lot less. We're not gonna have that gluten feeling like you do that you need a nap when you have a stack. So stay with me throughout the hour. We'll be flipping up some banana coconut pancakes, paleo style, in just a few minutes.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Caught on camera, a rocket burst into flames just seconds after liftoff in Japan. Fortunately, it was an unmanned rocket. No one was injured from the blast. Now, if the developers are ever successful in their attempt, it will be Japan's first privately developed rocket to reach outer space. Now to a brazen prison break. A notorious French gangster flown out of prison after 3 armed commandos hijack a helicopter with a gun to the pilot's head. ABC's Ava Pilgrim is in Paris, where a massive manhunt is now underway.
A daring jailbreak from this prison that seems straight out of a movie. Notorious gangster Redouane Faïd serving a 25-year sentence for murder, breaking out by helicopter. 3 accomplices with masks dressed in all black hijacked this helicopter using guns to force the flight instructor to fly into the prison's courtyard. 2 of the men then break into the visitor's room where Faïd was meeting with his brother and whisk him away. His fellow prisoners cheering spectacular escape as it disappears off into the distance. Dumbstruck authorities calling the escape spectacular themselves, scratching their heads at the high level of planning involved. The getaway chopper later found burned near a suburb of Paris, launching a massive manhunt.
Turn around! Put your hands behind you! Behind you! Behind you! Get out! Stay down! Get out! Get out!
As he told the French magazine The Point, Faïd would take his criminal inspiration from movies and actors such as Robert De Niro and Michael Mann's 1995 movie Heat, watching scenes hundreds of times in order to recreate them in real life. This isn't Faïd's first prison break. In 2013, escaping after spending less than half an hour behind bars, blowing up doors with dynamite while using 4 guards as human shields.
Ava Pilgrim reporting there. So far, authorities say other than the wrecked helicopter, they have not seen any signs of the escapee or his accomplices. Let's get back to the kitchen now. Check on those pancakes with Judy Gallagher.
So I've added 1.5 cups of the paleo pancake mix to 1.5 cups of coconut milk. And then I just wait to see if I need just a tad more milk or a tad more mix. But I always, no matter what type of pancakes I'm making, always make sure that you do let the batter sit for about 15 minutes before you actually start griddling the pancakes. Okay, so we'll start with these two. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna saute most of the bananas, but I'm just gonna dice in a couple for that extra pop of flavor. What I don't like is when I go out and all the fruit is just on top, and then I feel like the minute you eat that there's nothing good left. So this will give me like the 1-2 punch. Now my nephew likes to have chocolate chip pancakes. To make them a little healthier, you can get the soya chips, which are non-dairy and they're very low sugar, and that's a much better choice. So while this is starting to come together and rise up, I want to show you a couple of things I'm going to use today. Some organic, it is sweetened coconut, but it's just lightly sweetened. You can also buy packages of toasted coconut that's already toasted, it's not sweetened. So depending on how you like it, but a little sweetness is going to be fine. These coconut chips are wonderful, and that's going to go both in, they're naturally sweetened, they're going to go in, so again, adding texture even to a pancake. And there, we're going to let that just kind of sit. Now, the basis is I had these amazing macadamia nut pancakes in Hawaii. And I got the recipe, and I found out it was probably about 1,000 calories for 3 pancakes. So I thought, okay, we just can't do it this way. So I've omitted a lot of the butter, so there's just a little bit of butter. And then I just chop the macadamia nuts. Now, macadamia nuts can be expensive, so you can mix them with another nut if you want. You can certainly substitute, but I think macadamia nuts are what really set it apart. So I'm going to flip the pancakes over in just a minute. We'll get them browning on the other side, and then when I come back, I'm going to make a little sauce to go right over it with just a little bit of coconut nectar to sweeten everything up.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home. Get the right care right at home.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Coming up, a cruise ship rescue now under investigation. How a crew member was found after being lost at sea for nearly an entire day. Plus, Mexico has a new president. What this election could mean for the future of America's relationship with our neighbors south of the border. And a gator fight with some spectators you will have to see to believe.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. A cruise ship worker is counting his blessings after an amazing rescue at sea. ABC's Elizabeth Herr explains how the 33-year-old crew member was lost in the water for nearly 24 hours when all of a sudden a passing ship spotted him.
An incredible rescue. A crew member from the Norwegian Getaway lost at sea for 22 hours, found alive. The search, not easy. It was even suspended after the Coast Guard, joining the search and traveling more than 1,600 square miles, found nothing on Saturday.
Quick update on our situation. We have now decided to stop the search for our crew member.
Then on Sunday, a worker on another cruise ship, Carnival Glory, spotted the 33-year-old, and rescuers using a lifeboat pulled the man to safety 21 miles north of Cuba.
We slowed down, turned the ship around, and maneuvered the Carnival Glory near where the person was in the water.
A hotel steward aboard Carnival Glory reported seeing a person in the water, notifying bridge officers who quickly started the rescue operations.
We saw the cruise ship made a U-turn and started heading back, and then we noticed that all the crew members were using binoculars trying to find the crew member in the ocean.
That rescued crew member now recovering in stable condition.
I was on the lifeboat and was part of the crew that pulled him out of the water. He was obviously in distress from being in the water for so long.
Now, there are still a lot of questions, including how that crew member fell overboard in the first place. But for now, officials say this truly is nothing short of a miracle. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Now to a miracle in Thailand. A youth soccer team is found alive after missing for more than a week in a Thailand cave. All 12 boys and their coach found in the cave where they went missing 10 days ago. Now the operation begins to get them out of there. The boys, aged 11 to 16, and their 25-year-old coach went missing when flooding trapped them after entering the cave. China joined the search in recent days, providing underwater robots with a greater reach than the robots that were being used by Thai officials. New at noon, Mexico elects its first leftist president in decades, and some call him the Bernie Sanders now of Mexico. Andrés Manuel López Obrador is the apparent winner in Mexico's presidential election. All three of his opponents have now conceded, despite the fact the government numbers have not been released. And López Obrador is not the official winner until the Election Commission identifies him as such. President Trump has already called to congratulate him on his victory. New at noon, the FBI making an arrest in an alleged terror plot planned for downtown Cleveland on the 4th of July. Demetrius Pitts arrested and charged with attempting to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Pitts telling an undercover agent about where to place explosives that would detonate during Independence Day festivities. Pitts is expected to appear in court later today. An immigrant family separated after crossing the border were reunited in Miami over the weekend. Buena Godinez Martin was fleeing gang violence in Guatemala and entered the U.S. with her 10-month-old son in May to seek asylum. Just days after she was released from a detention center, her husband crossed the border with their daughter. The father and daughter were separated under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy. Now the family is waiting to hear from immigration officials about their asylum request. Now take a look at this. Alligators in Pennsylvania. Yes, the number of abandoned gators is on the rise across the central part of that state. Campers in Jonestown were recently startled by two surprise visitors. It was an iguana and a gator. And in Lancaster, an alligator was seen roaming in a neighborhood. Thankfully, they have all been on the smaller side. A reptile sanctuary there is pushing for legislation to prevent the buying and selling of alligators as pets.
As long as Pennsylvania's existed, we've been allowed to have pet alligators. In all of our surrounding states, alligators as pets are illegal.
The sanctuary is working with a refuge in Tampa now, where they have been sending these captured gators. Here in Florida, 2 alligators were caught on camera fighting while a pair of sandhill cranes watched the entire show. ABC 7 viewer Sarah sent this to us. It starts out peaceful. The 2 sandhill cranes just walking near a residential pond when the 2 gators come up onto the grass. They circle each other, they snapping at each other, grabbing their tails as they tussle before lying still, all while those cranes just look on, minding their own business. What we would call just another day here on the Suncoast. The cranes, though, keeping their distance and ready to get out of there if they have to, of course.
In that case, it's good to fly.
Yeah. Gators are pretty quick along the ground.
Yeah. There's a lot of them around this year, it seems like.
Yeah. We're getting reports almost every week of
right.
one spot in a parking lot, under a car.
We've had several in our backyard, just kind of hanging out there. Yeah. And we've also had poachers. We've seen them come in and grab them. Not great. No. We have across our region some pretty nice weather out there right now. Probably some gators sunning themselves this afternoon on some of our area banks. A lot of sunshine, and so far not much in the way of any kind of rainfall, though I suspect we'll have a few showers around today. It's not going to be a big rain day by any stretch of the imagination, and while we don't have a lot of activity out on the water, we have one lone shower out there, which we captured pretty nicely on that webcam right there. We have some showers far from us, relatively speaking, in the northern Gulf waters. Nothing here locally. That, by the way, that spinning area of low pressure out there, that is what brought us our weekend rain on Saturday and is now continuing to pull away. We've got a few fair weather showers way out there in the Gulf that's really not going to bother us too much, and a lot of sunshine in store. You can see that cloud cover all associated with that mid-level low continuing to build and pull away. It looked pretty ominous there, but it is a mid-level system. It's not a tropical system. 30% chance of showers today, decreasing to about 20% by 7 p.m. this evening. We'll have the forecast for the week ahead coming up in a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In Northport, construction is now underway on a new aquatic center. The city breaking ground on the $10 million project yesterday. The city's Parks and Recreation manager describes what this new aquatic center will offer Northport residents.
There's a lazy river which will set it off from all other pools and facilities like this around. It's the only lazy river for 3 counties, so we know that that will be a great draw for families. The pool itself was designed so that we could have swim meets and competitions. We're going to have 3 slides. One is a bowl slide that specifically the teenage population has really looked for, and then we also will have a small splash pad for kids.
The park should be ready to open in about 1 year. And the city is asking for your help naming a new playground. The future play area has been designed for all children, including those with physical, developmental, cognitive, and sensory issues. Construction for the Boundless Playground, as it's called, is underway now at the Garden of 5 Senses right off Pan American Boulevard. The project is expected to be complete by November. Clear blue skies greeted racers and beachgoers for the final day of racing at the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix yesterday. Just the opposite from Saturday's rainy weather. Crowds packing into Lido Beach to watch these fast boats.
It's always been on the bucket list to do the event, and we're checking the bucket list off today. Gorgeous out here, a little bit of breeze, a little bit of cloud cover, then you get the sun. Couldn't ask for a better day.
Visibility was a lot better today, and the sea conditions, were almost ideal for our size boat.
Win or lose, it was a great day for all as the proceeds benefited Suncoast Charities for Children, which gives grants to children, teens, and adults with special needs in our area. If you missed the races this weekend, there's still time to see some of the highlights. We have a link up on our website, mysuncoast.com, with both the Powerboat and Aqua X races. All right, back to the kitchen now and check in on those pancakes with Culinary Director Judy Gallagher.
Okay, I've taken the first few pancakes out of the pan. I'm going to add just a little more butter, not very much, because this is going to be shared amongst 4 people. I'm going to add the chopped macadamia nuts and just let them toast up a little bit. And let's add the bananas. When you're making bananas Foster, you usually deglaze the pan. There's more butter, there's cinnamon and sugar, and of course there's alcohol. Now, if you want to make a more friendly version, is just use a little bit of the cinnamon, melted butter, and the natural sweetness you're going to get. So We don't need a lot more. If you wanted to use something like a coconut rum to deglaze the pan, you most certainly could. So now, I have two types of coconut. I have the slightly sweetened and I have the toasted coconut flakes. We'll put some of those in the pan and some of those on top. And then we're gonna do just a little coconut nectar and a teeny drizzle there. And we're gonna let this just kind of come together, just so the bananas, I almost said wilted. Bananas don't wilt, they just kind of turn, but just to heat them up so you can see the direction I'm going at, right? All right. Now this is with no added sugar. We just had that cinnamon sprinkled on there. Let's go right here. Now this is the perfect time. They make the PB now, PB2, that you can basically buy peanut butter powder. It's dehydrated, and just bring it back with a little water. You can even spread that on the layers, and that would just make a wonderful dish as well. Now I'm just gonna top this with just a teeny bit more of the coconut nectar, and this is gonna be my cheat meal, which isn't bad when you think about that I'm having pancakes and I am having the sweetness of the coconut nectar, put in with the bananas and the macadamia nuts. This is gonna be about half the calories. So, excuse me, along with a little Prosecco, I'm gonna make a mimosa using an immune refresher juice. It's another way to get your family to get those added vitamins in, is just make a simple cocktail. And of course, for the kiddos, we can use a little seltzer water in there and really make it fun. But together, oh man, this is just gonna be luscious. Come over soon for some pancakes. I make them every weekend. Now I'll send it back to you.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money. So there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial, because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-874-8185. 1-800-874-8185.
The body, it is a work of art and a powerful ally in the fight against cancer. A new approach called immunotherapy works by helping our immune system correctly identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to learn more. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Through the day, we'll continue to watch our temperatures bring us feels likes of 100 to 105. We're already almost there. We're at a 98 degree feels like. Actual air temperature is pretty close to the 90 mark at 89. We have a relative humidity of 61%. West wind starting now at about 7 and a dew point value coming in warm at 74, giving us that feels like temperature. We'll factor in about a 30% chance of rain showers today by 3 p.m. And then as we head into the 7 p.m. hour, about a 20% chance as some of those inland storms begin to build backwards and drift backwards as a general easterly wind pushes them back in our direction. The west wind is caused by the sea breeze, and that sea breeze is going to help bring us a shower or two. Right now, everything is pretty quiet here. We do have this rotating area of low pressure back to the west. Again, this is not tropical in nature, even though it looks like it could be, but it's not. It's a mid-level system, and it will eventually just dissipate. We're watching these couple of showers generally with a northerly drift to them. We'll start to see now that we have a westerly wind, the showers begin to build in inland areas over the course of the next couple of hours. We also have some showers down to the south and on the other coast, which will be encouraged to be pushed in this direction. So definitely in the inland locations, Hardee, DeSoto will be the best chances for showers. This is the latest red tide update. Lido, Nokomis, Venice, all showing low amounts of red tide irritant in the air. Gasparillo, the hot spot still, with a moderate amount. They've had some heavy fish kills there lately, and apparently they're still having some issues with the airborne irritants. General westerly wind continues again today. So the weather highlights include the development of that area of low pressure caused by the sea breeze kind of interacting with a general easterly wind flow, kicking off that line of storms. That'll happen later today, but particularly tomorrow, I think, as we establish this easterly flow around that area of high pressure. For 4th of July, I think we'll have this little trough of low pressure moving across the northern part of the state as well, helping to enhance rainfall chances a little bit. Winds out of the southwest becoming, as I mentioned, to the west and then eventually to the northeast. Light chop. Nice day for boating. 91 today, tomorrow about the same with a 30% chance of showers both days. As we head into the 4th of July, we will have an uptick in our shower chances, probably to about 40%, maybe 50%. And that easterly wind will tend to keep some of those showers closer to the coast later in the day showers. We'll be watching the forecast probably hour by hour around the time of the event just to make sure that none of those storms impact you. I highly recommend downloading the app to have that with you on Wednesday. The rest of the week looks like pretty average rain chances for this time of year. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. In consumer news, the Federal Trade Commission is cracking down on scams targeting veterans. A recent study by the FTC shows imposter scams tend to target veterans more than the average consumer. According to consumer watchdog Jerry Zivick, last year, veterans lost millions of dollars.
Military consumers have lost $25 million in the last year, and the average amount where they've lost is $699 per instance, as compared to the average consumer that loses $500 per instance.
A scam can take many forms. Imposters may say they're calling from the government or from a business with technical support expertise. Others lure unsuspecting victims by posing as legitimate users of online dating sites or saying there's an emergency with a friend or family member. To the north, Canada has imposed new tariffs on U.S. exports totaling $12 billion. They are in direct retaliation against other tariffs President Trump imposed on Canadian goods coming into the U.S. So now more than 40 U.S. steel products are now subject to tariffs of 25%. And a tax of 10% has been imposed on over 80 other American items, including maple syrup, coffee beans, and jam. U.S. tariffs against Canadian steel and aluminum went into effect June 1st. San Francisco's minimum wage hit $15 an hour on Sunday. This is the first major city in the U.S. to reach that mark, increasing from $14 an hour. San Francisco voters passed the initiative to raise the minimum wage back in 2014. The city says San Francisco's unemployment rates have fallen to historic lows since the minimum wage began increasing in 2015. Every July from now on, the wage rate will be adjusted based on annual increases in the Consumer Price Index. Nearly 40 million people are expected to hit the road for the 4th of July trips this week, and they'll be paying a little bit more for gas. AAA reports the average price is $2.90 a gallon. That's nationwide, and it's a 4-year high for this holiday period. Overall, that will cost drivers about $1 billion more than last year. A recent survey showed the top fear of travelers is overpaying for gasoline. According to the app Gas Buddy, here are the cheapest gas prices here on the Suncoast. In Sarasota, you can fill up at the Texaco station on Fruitville for $2.65 a gallon. In Bradenton, the Mobile on First Street is selling it for $2.65 as well. And in Venice, same price at the Shell station on US 41. And it's the end of an era. A major big box store will stop selling compact discs. Best Buy plans to pull all CDs out of the stores today. Due to changing technology, CD sales were down nearly 20% last year. And here's the twist in all this. Best Buy is selling record albums, saying that the vinyl format has made a comeback. How about that? Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the views from a new bridge in China is driving thrill seekers wild. We'll show it to you right after this.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Don't miss the 34th Annual Hotel Planner Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival, June 23rd through July 4th, with action-packed personal watercraft and powerboat racing off Lido Beach. And be sure to stop by the Boats by the Bay Party and this year's Fan Festival, featuring over 30 powerboats on display, live music, a live stream of the racing action, vendors, and much more. Both events are free admission in the Van Wezel parking lot. Presenting sponsors include Sarasota County and Visit Sarasota. Proceeds benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. For info, visit SarasotaPowerboatGrandPrix.org.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us swim! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
So there we have it, paleo pancakes, banana, coconut, and macadamia nuts married together with just a little coconut nectar, which you can find right by the maple syrups. And I really find this is to be the ultimate brunch dish. I don't think people are going to really necessarily know that it's paleo, but it makes a real big difference. It's not as heavy gluten-wise, and of course we're going to serve the immune juice with a little Prosecco, so you really have this lovely brunch that you can serve. And so many people are eating gluten-free, it's just a good option to have this, mix in berries or a little peanut butter, as I mentioned earlier, and you'll have a match. You can get this recipe by going on mysuncoast.com, click on the recipe button. You can look at the videos, look at the different restaurants we have to share, and enter to win a $50 gift card to one of those local restaurants. Well, guys, I'm going to get ready to have some pancakes and send it back to you.
All right, Judy, thanks so much. In entertainment news, a dinosaur-sized sequel, a huge week for an alternative band, and a small movie promising some big laughs. David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
This is the most dangerous creature that ever walked the earth.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom isn't just the biggest movie in North America, it's big everywhere. The thriller is the #1 movie internationally at $667 million, pushing the movie's global total to $932 million. Box office watchers expect it to pass the $1 billion mark this week. Panic at the Disco had a pretty good week as well. The band's new disc, Pray for the Wicked, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 album chart, with the biggest week for an alternative rock album this year.
I think I've had enough Tucker Bloody Crow to last 20 lifetimes.
Tucker has a new album, and I don't want to spend my time with someone who doesn't get it.
Here's the first trailer for Juliet Naked, starring Rose Byrne as Annie, whose longtime partner, played by Chris O'Dowd, is obsessed with obscure rocker Tucker Crow, played by Ethan Hawke. When Annie and Tucker strike up a relationship online and then in person, both might get a second chance. The romantic comedy, based on the Nick Hornby novel, opens in August.
Duncan Thompson, Tucker Crow. I'm Stevie Wonder.
Just take it
Real
easy.
mature, Annie.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Finally, don't look down, or look down if you dare. Check out the new observation deck that has people freaking out in China. The deck is nearly 700 feet high and suspended over a valley and a massive waterfall. The skywalk is considered to be the largest and highest glass construction in the world. Would you? Would you try it?
I would try it. I'm not sure I could do it.
Have a great day, everyone.